game 5. Like, it really doesn't get any better than that.
We're bound to get 7 maps tomorrow.
Oh, I hope. Whoever wins. I mean, 7 maps of Innovations PvZ. I think that all the Terran players out there will lose. They'll lose it. Like, they will not be able to contain themselves, literally. That's going to be too much. And of course, if Innovation would go up against Stats, I think that would be a great rematch of the group stages. But you know, the fact that we only have 1 semifinals on a day like this is like you're praying, like, oh god, like it better be a good series, right?
Well, please not 3 cannon rush and proxies SOS style, but
I know it could have really backfired.
Yeah, and actually we're really being treated here to some fantastic StarCraft 2. Those back and forth games. This one definitely like wasn't like super like non-stop back and forth as much as the other ones, but there were a lot of attacks that maybe we thought weren't going to be able to do that well from ByuL, and he made the most of every single one of them. This time around, the Mutas did a lot, I think.
Yep, they didn't just do the economic damage, they didn't just kill the probes. They made sure he didn't have to worry at all about any sort of Warp Prism play. And from that point on, you know, it was all ByuL's game, man. ByuL had map control, he was spreading creep. I loved the tech he was going for. He even had a great Aspire in the end. But who needs a great Aspire when you have 11 lurkers? And you know, there's always a lot of talk about, is it the Dark Templar opening into the Archon's Warp Prism play, or are we going to see maybe Resonating Glaives into Stargates? I really think that if you want to beat ByuL, it's got to be like a 3-gate Resonating Glaives opening into double Stargate. I feel that those builds are a lot more effective for Protoss players against him than this Dark Templar play, because he shuts this down, Todd.
Stats definitely played really shy this game, especially when you play this style as opposed to, obviously in Carriers you can't go across the map and go crazy with 2 Carriers and 1 Mothership and be like, oh, I'm going to recall if I get in trouble. No, you need to play slowly, but when you play with Immortals, Archons, Charge Lot and all that, you need to play a lot more aggressive than this. So we're going to be headed to game number 5 here in a second. Brace yourself.
What we were all hoping for, Johan, going into this semifinals, game 5. It will be everything or nothing for both of these amazing players. And right now we're looking at the main base of our Korean Protoss. It is Stats.
His opponent, starting at the top right hand side, playing as the blue Zerg, it's of course ByuL. And he didn't seem to mind too much. Stats getting away with the Nexus first in the previous game, not at all.
Going Nexus first, however, on Whirlwind, I think it's so risky. I mean, he's gonna he's gonna
get the gate.
Yeah, I think that's a lot smarter, because on a 4-player map, you are not guaranteed a scout. So if you go Nexus first and then you scout and you realize that your opponent went for 12, 13, or 14 pull. And by the way, there might be some people out there that think like, why do they keep talking about 12 pulls? You know, ByuL's way too good to do a 12 pull. No, he actually likes it. You know, he's done it multiple times. And if he scouts it, he takes it into a macro game. And if it doesn't get scouted, well, say hello to his first 8 or 10 Zerglings.
Say hello to my little friends.
Yeah, little friends indeed. And they do a lot of damage early on when you have nothing but probes to defend. This is great, by the way. Pylon block, I love it on Whirlwind.
Really used to say they delays the Nexus too much.
No, I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, because I guess the 3rd base or where you will make your first hatchery is very, very far away, and then that makes it difficult to defend down the line. Gonna go for a cancel though, so he can start his Nexus a little bit quicker, and he was happy with the amount that was delayed already. Just 25 minerals, got a cheeky discount there.
Yeah, there are some maps, and obviously this was not hatch first, right? Like, it would have been a lot more painful if ByuL didn't have a spawning pool on the way. But Stats knew that, he saw the timing, but he still thought it's worth delaying that hatchery a little bit. And I like that as well, you know, there's a lot of Protoss players who look differently at it. Some people really prefer to skyrocket their own economy, and the other Protossers, they like to slow down the Zerg economy, and I'm in that camp.
ByuL scouted the wrong way with his first Overlord, so there is a chance he scouts a little bit late what tech Stats may go into. Especially since he's not gonna... Oh, actually, no, the links are... Is that 2 links on the minimap headed across the map? Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
So I think, okay, he gets that in there, but you can expect an Adept to chase those and snipe them fairly quickly.
So
That's really good though by ByuL to get this inside of the base of stats, because he might be able to delay whatever tech or spot it, and in this case it sees the Twilight Council. So that kind of negates the fact he scouted the wrong way at first.
It's okay, Johan. It's still important that you mention it, because normally it does have an impact. But of course, that's not having that wall up yet and also not making a Zalot. So he's going to have to worry about these links. They are annoying, but the Adept will be able to take care of it. We're going to keep a close eye on the production tab. Are we going to see the 2 extra gates, or is it going to be a Robo and 3 extra gates? I think it's just a Resonating Glaze opening thought, and then maybe Stargate play.
On this map it's great, especially since you need to wall off with more big buildings. Since he's going to be getting more gateways inside of his wall, that's going to help him completely wall off, be sealed off, and be safe. And Resonating Glaze now start, and expect 2 more gates to follow this up.
I like it, man, because I think ByuL is just absolutely fantastic in defending against, you know, the 4-gate Archon Dark Templar opening with the Prism. Every game I've seen him face it, he's defending it like an absolute god.
You know, every time we say fantastic, I picture Tasteless backstage making an impression of us. Absolutely fantastic.
Why? Does he make fun of us?
But
Tasteless? Tasteless? Alright, oh no, you gotta be careful with these Adept stats. It's actually very important, Todd. It's game 5. He shades into the main, gets 2 drones. Okay, if you get 4 drones, you can be very happy, but he's gonna get 2. Okay,
Wow.
3.
That was not expected
4.
there, and all of a sudden Stas is on 32 probes against 27 drones. And behind this, guess what? He's going to be getting a whole bunch of Adepts to head across the map and do damage with. A little bit surprised we see a Robo.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to play a little bit more aggressive with a War Prism, maybe go for more gateways, but I would have expected double Stargates, 3rd base, and then for him to go into carriers, starting the game ahead.
Yep, especially after getting 4 drones. Like, you know, a lot of Protoss players, this opening fell out of fashion a little bit, opening up with 2 Adepts and trying to kill units. But the Zerg players, they've gotten more greedy, especially if they scout with the links and they lose the links. The 2 Adepts, they can really do quite a bit for you as a Protoss player, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, getting 4 drones, it's very solid, forced out a couple of units as well, and I even think that it could have been a tiny bit more if the drones were not able to do that much damage on the Adept.
Yeah, let's see though in a second if Stats chooses to play more aggressive here. And, someone who would go for a 3rd base.
It's a fast 3rd base this time, right? I mean, he's going to scout a lot of links, and if I was Stats, I'm not sure if he should let this finish up, Todd, because he could potentially lose all these Adepts. So he does indeed not let it finish up. He's going to cancel it. The links, however, are on the hunt. No, they chose. They stopped. They were for a split second, but then they decided to go back.
42 probes to 37 drones. I love the choice of Stats to basically just hit the brakes, head on home, use his better economy to get a better army, tech more maybe, and later down the line, then go for a timing. Here it is, look at the production tab. The explosion on the gates.
Yeah.
3 more at first.
And he's not building many probes now, by the way, at all. It's a lot of sentries. I mean, that's kind of crazy, right? Because he's doing this without Immortals. It's a super old school attack.
That's one single Immortal.
Okay.
Like, we're on match point too. Like this is, if you're gonna go for this now. Keep in mind though, there is a lot of sentries. If Stats goes for this timing, the weakness of that would be to face an Overlord drop with Baning.
Oh god.
You want to get out of there ASAP.
Yeah, you really want to keep the Prism alive.
So if Stats, it looks like he wants to be aggressive, obviously. Like he's not making probes anymore. He's just gonna get a ton of units. If Banelings are dropped on top of his army and sentries, everything's gonna get blown up, but I don't think that ByuL has enough information to actually go for that. If he plays with full Zergling Baneling on the ground, force fields are gonna reign supreme and he's gonna lose everything.
And you saw that one Ling. I don't think that one Ling got the scout. This Ling, however, will get the scout, will spot all the Resonating Glaive Adepts and all these sentries as well.
Oh, it's very important that he gets some Roaches and Ravagers to try and break some of those force fields here, and also take the perfect engagement on creep, ideally here, for ByuL.
Oh man, this attack is a very, very important attack. Yes, he is on 3
can force
bases.
field them in.
Force field the army! No, he doesn't do it. He's gonna work on the Spore Crawler instead. The longer he waits, the more Banelings and Roaches we will have. Good force fields at first though. 4 Stats, once again, Tournament Live pretty much on the line here. Is it Stats who's going to the final, or will it be ByuL?
Yeah, how is ByuL supposed to fight this? His Banelings cannot reach this army, and they were going to be the one weapon that was going to kill all of these Adepts. Finally, they sneak through. There was a hole here inside of those force fields.
Yeah,
but there is so much left over here from Stats.
Those Banes got very good connections, and that one Immortal, Ted, I think the one Immortal is incredibly important. You got to keep it alive. You got to make sure you don't lose it, because the Immortal can take care of the Roaches. Army supply pretty much dead even. Obviously, it's very hard to defend right now for ByuL because his units are all over the place.
Yeah, Stats going to keep on reinforcing with many Adepts at the time here, with some huge Warbeams, and the army of ByuL being split apart here between his bases. He's It's going to make it very hard for him to get rid of this. Goes for the Prism, but Stats pulls it back very smartly.
A lot of money in the bank for Stats. He could get a couple of Stalkers as well, but he's going to go for...
targeting the Queens when he knows that they're almost taking out the War Prism, and he saves it!
Sick save by Stats, and ByuL losing so many units there. That could very well be it. Is there an answer to all these adapts, to this Immortal, to the remaining sentries?
Yes, there is an answer, and I think that answer is GG here, because ByuL is down to his last few forces. Finally gets rid of the War Prism, but I don't even think he has enough units here to get rid of this army that's left over from Stats.
The Immortal does finally fall, but not before 20 kills it achieved. And I mean, these adapts are going to be able to take care of all these drones here as well. No drones survived this massacre. A couple of sentries are still in the mix as well, even force fielding the drones. Obviously, ByuL is trying to do whatever he can. After taking care of the Prism and the Immortal, he's wondering, is there a chance? But I really don't think so, Todd. The adapt count is simply too high.
Yeah, down to 21 drones against 51 probes. That's just going to pile on with the aggression. ByuL must be starting to sink in right now that this is going to be his elimination here in the top 4, which is still a very good result, but it's going to be Stats moving on to the grand finals to face Innovation tomorrow.
GG! Stats advances to the final. Normally he is that guy that makes top 4, right? Stats a consistent top 4 placer. Well, not this time, Todd. He's going to the final, and obviously this man, who is considered by many to be the best Protoss player in the world, is going to give it his all tomorrow against the man, the machine, that
The
is
guy who beat
Innovation.
him in the groups, actually, Innovation. He wants his revenge. He was a 2-1 victory.
Oh man,
Gonna
I
get a chance
love
to the
this
best of
series.
7.
I love this series, Todd. We saw a couple of great games here. I saw so many decisions that we normally don't see, but I think that's what made it beautiful. That's what made it awesome. That's what you get, I guess, when we are in the semi-finals of the Intel Extreme Masters.
That's definitely showing some of his best games there.
What was your favorite game of this semi-finals, Todd?
In a way, I quite liked Habitation Station. You?
I like Vani because if you would have given me a single penny, you know, saying that ByuL was still going to win that game after the early game, or ByuL, excuse me, ByuL happens. If that ByuL was still going to win after he took that much damage, I was like, no, there's no way, you're crazy. But he made it work with a sick Hydra Bane timing. But I love most of these games, man. I thought that Newkirk was a beautiful game by ByuL and showing us and all the Zergs out there how to truly shut down this Dark Templar, Archon, War Prism play. And of course you can always look at it from two sides and say that Stats could have done stuff better. But I was very, very impressed by ByuL that game. However, as a Protoss player, Todd, I'm excited and I'm ready for that grand finals that will be happening tomorrow, 2 p.m. local time, which I believe is going to be 6 a.m. for all our Central Europeans, Amsterdam, Berlin. That means
Passion
midnight.
o'clock.
Yep, Passion o'clock indeed. We had a lot of tweets, so big shout out to all of you passionate nerds out there that woke up to watch some great StarCraft here live from Seoul, Korea. I've always wanted to say that once. I see Tasteless do it all the time.
We love you guys.
We love you guys. This is the greatest game in the world. Once again, if you guys join us later, this is the recap of the semi-finals. So tomorrow, 6 a.m. Central European time, grand finals, Innovation versus Stats. Midnight for all our East Coast people and 9 p.m. for the West Coast. What a beautiful
What about
time.
Hawaii?
Hawaii, that's 6 a.m. Could be 5, but I think it's 6. I can take a look for you, Todd, if you want.
You just know every time zone, don't you? You're like a human clock. Grand finals, Innovation against Stats. That's gonna be so cool. Like already I've seen them play in the group stage as well. Those were some great games, I think. Even though Innovation kind of powered through. That game on Overgrowth that they played. Like if you haven't seen those games yet, definitely make sure you check them out on the VODs. And it's gonna give you a little preview of what basically Mass Liberator moving forwards, forcing a Protoss inside of his base. Looks like before Stats finally had to take a fight and then ended up losing. This is the first time we're being shown here today.
Yeah, I know. This is.
They were like, we gotta show them what they got. Makeup, they dressed up. Let's just.
I know.
Let's get it out of the way. There it is. This is what you look like. You heard our voices. Now you put you can put a face on the voice.
It's because Kalaris just wanted too much time in the pre-game show. Like he just kept on going. He's like, I've been away for a while. This is my moment. And they were like, throw it to Cassius. Kalaris like, no. I want to do some more pre-game talk. No, it's been fun. I really enjoyed today. Hopefully you guys at home enjoyed the show as well. I want to thank everybody, especially around the world, that woke up Had an awful time to watch these games, but I think it was worth it. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. local time, Innovation versus Stats. Thank you guys so much and have a lovely evening.